What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Blue Jays Today. The Toronto Blue Jays had their first full squad practice yesterday, and there are definitely a few interesting things to note. Before we break it all down, I encourage you guys to hit the like and smash the subscribe button if you enjoy Toronto Blue Jays content and discussion so you don't miss any future videos. Alright folks, let's get into it. So the first thing that we have got to talk about is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. The internet has been captivated by Guerrero ever since some pictures started surfacing of all of the progress that he's made in the gym this off-season. Now, surely we're not going to let a few pictures of Guerrero in the gym lead us to overreact about his upcoming season, right?
Nope.
Vladdy recently came out and said, in 2021, I prepared myself without thinking about all those numbers that I could put up, Guerrero said through a club translator. This year, I said, you know what? I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm not gonna think about anything mentally about putting up numbers. I think it might work out. Maybe the same numbers, maybe better. He then went on to say, I believe I had a great off season. I achieved all the goals that I wanted to achieve, being in shape like I used to be before previous years, and I really believe that I achieved that goal. I feel great right now. Being in shape is obviously a huge thing for Guerrero because we've seen it time and time again where he starts off the season looking good, playing well, and then as the season goes on, he starts to lose a little bit of steam, right? The endurance, it really catches up to him. We need Guerrero to be good for 162 games because as we've said on this channel time and time again, when Guerrero goes, so do the Toronto Blue Jays. Along with the quotes, we also got some videos of him swinging yesterday, and he does look really good. Like, obviously this is batting practice. It is going to be very different when we are in a game situation, but just from these videos alone, I think it's safe to say that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. looks like he is in a pretty good place right now. We also got some clips of him out in the field taking some ground balls, and this is definitely going to be something that I am looking a lot at. Everyone is going to talk about how the health, how the fitness, it's going to impact his bat. He's going to get better at hitting because he got fit, which is probably true, but I think the same thing can be said for him out there in the field. He was not perfect last year defensively speaking. There's definitely some areas for improvement there, so that is going to be something that I am really looking at in spring training. Speaking of players who are looking to improve on last year and also stay healthy, how about George Springer? Springer, even when he is on the field and playing with the Jays, it just feels like this guy is never 100%, right? He is always wincing through something. So if we could have George Springer feeling good, as close to 100% as he can be for the majority of the season, that is going to be a good place for the Toronto Blue Jays. Yesterday, he was taking some at-bats, and take a look at this one. That is the first Springer dinger of the spring, and if the Toronto Blue Jays team is going to be successful this year, we are absolutely going to need some more of those. Next, let's move on to Nate Pearson.
Whoa, time for your daily Betway breather. A quick reminder that the best place to bet is on Betway. Must be 19 years of age or older to play. In collaboration with iGaming Ontario, please bet responsibly. Now, back to the content.
Keegan Matheson recently wrote a great article about Nate Pearson, who looks like he's going to be experimenting with a new pitch. Pearson, for the longest time, has looked like he has the most potential in the world, but has just never been able to show it at a consistent level in the MLB. And a big part of that, he thinks, is because he was tipping his pitches. A big thing for me that I didn't really notice, but they noticed here, was that I was tipping a lot last year, Pearson said. I'm changing my glove position this year. I'll be a little more up to my chest and close to my body. I was down here by my belt, and then I'd come up. I would tip when I'd come up. Now, adding a new pitch into the arsenal isn't going to necessarily stop Pearson from tipping, but for starters, he's already acknowledging what it was that he was doing last year and is actively working on changing it. And then two, having an additional pitch, that just gives a hitter an additional thing to think about, which makes it that much harder. He went on to say, I've been in the bullpen watching him throw his splitter all the time, seeing guys just not be able to touch it. Baffling guys, Pearson said. Then obviously Kevin Gausman, he's such an outlier with his and throws his in such a unique way. It's hard to even try to do what he's doing. I just want to test it out and see how it goes. I like where it's at right now. Only time will tell if Nate Pearson is capable of integrating the splitter into his game effectively, but I really like where this kid's at right now. It feels like he is addressing the concerns that a lot of the coaches had last year. The tipping is a big one, and the fact that he he is adding another pitch in, I feel like that can only help. Finally, let's talk about Hyun Ryu. Ryu has officially made the decision to move back to Korea and play in the KBO, effectively ending his career in the MLB. And this guy deserves one hell of a shout out. Not only was Ryu dominant for the Toronto Blue Jays for a few seasons right there, but him coming to Toronto, it really felt like the unofficial beginning of this window that we're in right now, right? He kind of kick-started the era, and I mean, that was freaking awesome. So Ryu, we will miss you, man. I wish you the best in the KBO. But folks, let me know what you think about all this in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, go Jays, go.